Alright guys, 2012 Chevrolet Cruze ECO. So for the past year or so, I haven't really been driving the car, but when I have been driving it, I've been having the infamous misfire code, the sporadic check engine light, and the surging on startup and idle. And sometimes the car visibly shutters. You know, you can feel it when you come to a stop. So hopefully we're going to be able to take care of it, because I know this has got to be happening to a lot of Cruzes. Alright, so here we go. We have the engine popped open, and this is kind of the Ecotec engine in its native environment, with battery acid coming off of the positive terminal of the battery, and as well as dust and dirt and grime everywhere. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to examine the engine bay to look for any possible source of what might be causing the vacuum leak. Now, just from the get-go, I can notice that there is a little bit of oil around this AC line right here. So maybe I have like some runoff, but we'll see. So another thing I'm going to do, they recommend when you hose off a motor to go ahead and keep the engine running. Some simple green. Now, you don't want to use this stuff straight. This is about, and this is an aggressive mixture as well. It's like a 2070 mixture. I just basically filled the simple green up to here, and then filled the rest with water. But of course, it foamed up pretty bad, so you know. But I think we're still good to go. Especially in my younger days when I did this, I would always overuse the product. But now I've learned that sometimes on this stuff, especially when you're dealing with chemicals, less is definitely more. I have a bottle of actually soapy water. It says Armor All Tire Shine, but in reality, the bottle was empty, so I just filled it up with soap and put some water in it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to gently spray down the entire motor. I'm not actually sure how this plumbing goes. I'm assuming this is the intake. I mean, this is the one of the intake I'm assuming the intake manifold is on that side, because the manifold, exhaust manifold, is on this side. The turbo is there. So then that is the air box. Okay, I see. So that's the air box, and then the air comes in, it goes to the turbo, it pressurizes, it dumps down. Oh yes, okay, I see. So that would work. So it dumps down, and then there should be another hose. Oh, and there it is. So there's a second hose that comes out of the turbo. It routes out, around. I guess it goes into the intercooler. So I guess this car is equipped with an intercooler. And then it comes out of the intercooler. It comes out. This is a sensor. That is the throttle body, I'm assuming, or a mass airflow sensor. This is a upstream sensor. And then it goes into the intake manifold. So that must be what it is. Alright, so what I have here is I have a purge valve, a replacement. I got it at O'Reilly. It costs about $42 out the door. It comes in a very nondescript lettering CP781 valve from good old Long Island, New York. And it's an emissions piece. They're not too terribly expensive, which they shouldn't be too expensive because it's an emission part. So they do have to make these available, because they will fail your car. They won't allow you to register your car if it fails emissions. So there is, to a degree, they do have to make these parts available. Now, the parts are available, but if you go to a shop and they replace this for you, that's not going to stop a shop from charging you an arm and a leg. So it's really good to be able to do some shade tree mechanic type of stuff like this. So if you look at it, It's basically really thin plastic There's a 2-pin connector, and it looks like it should be a pretty simple setup. Let me see. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to match it up, and it looks like it's going to be a perfect drop-in. All right, so let's go ahead and swap it out. All right, so the first thing I'm going to try to do is I'm just going to see how lucky I can get with this and change it out without really having to get into anything too crazy. Let me adjust the camera here. All right, and let me go for it. So it looks like this is being held in by some standard GM pin connectors, and a lot of these can disconnect just by pressure. So it's almost like they knew these things would be going out. All right, so here's one. You press, and you either rotate it or you just press and pull on it. Really not sure what the hell you're supposed to do. Normally though, a good thing that I do is I usually just grab on it and yank on it until something breaks or it comes out, you know. But normally that's not how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to take a nice, calm, measured approach to it, and it just comes nice and off. There's a trick to these things. I'm not sure what the trick is, to be honest with you. Oh, there's a trick. You just squeeze it and you pull it. All right, and you knock over all the water bottles while you're at it. Okay, now the next part is gonna be the pin connector, and it's already coming off. All right, and you're just gonna put that to the side, and finally, there's a red clip right here, or at least there should be. And oh, and it fell on the floor. All right, and that comes off. Now it looks like this slides off. Okay, and there's the old part. I'm not even sure if this thing is good or not, but there it is. There's the old one. So I'm not even sure if there's like a test for it. Like, can you blow on it? Can you? Oh, yeah, I'm blowing on this, and it's probably not the healthiest thing to do, but yeah, I'm just. There's no air. There's complete, yeah. So then I'm gonna take this, which is a new part. You know what? Forget the blowing on it. I'm just gonna install this damn thing. All right, here we go. Oh my God. It's like, yeah, I don't know what happened. He just like developed cancer overnight, and we have no idea. Must have been him working on those damn cars. All right, here we go. What the hell? All right. So what's going on? They got like a little rubber gasket or grommet in there, so we'll see. All right. Let me see. All right, there we go. Oh, nice, and this actually fits better than the factory one, I think. All right, so that goes in there, and that snaps in. All right, and that snaps in, and then this pin connector snaps back in. After you make sure you get it all nice and dirty from all the crap that was sitting on the engine. See, and they tell you not to wear loose jewelry while you're working on cars either. Actually, I'm committing a lot of no-nos with this car. I haven't disconnected the battery terminal. There's an ice cream truck going. I'm wearing a loose jewelry that's hanging down close to the belt. Just not smart at all, people. But anyway, but then again, if I was smart, I would have sold this car a long time ago and gotten me a pickup truck like everybody else. All right, so it's installed. So hopefully that takes care of it. We'll see. All right, well, I can't get to the red pin right now because it's under the car, but what I will do is I will just start the car right now to see if that fixed the issue, because why not? And then I'll back the car up, grab the pin, and then just reinsert the pin, and we should be good to go. You know, I honestly don't know if that fixed the car or not. It kind of halfway sounded like she wanted to lug when I started it, but then the computer, the ECM, is going to adjust for the emissions part for the new adjustment on it. Now, normally what you would do is you would disconnect the battery and put it through a reset when you put new parts on. But I think for a part like this, the car should be able to adjust for it. Well, I did find a red clip, and I went ahead and reattached it to the canister there. And it turned out the clip wasn't on the ground, but it was actually, it fell onto the cross beam, I guess, for where the front of the, like the subframe. So I just kind of reached in there with the engine running and, you know, my hand all close to the belts and stuff, and I just grabbed that shit and pulled it out and hooked it back up onto the thing. So, you know, I really think this might have done it. We'll see. So the car, when I do crank it up, it does kind of sound like it does when I halfway want to start stuttering again. Your coolant is boiling, which means that the system isn't sealed properly. So there's probably some shenanigans going on in there somewhere. So far, this is what I'm dealing with, so I think that might have fixed it. We'll find out. It did not solve the problem.